Hello, welcome back to Meta Perfume, or welcome if this is your first time. I'm Emily, here today with Pixie, tired from the walk around the lake we just took. I am going to cover the Jean Paul Gaultier sampler I picked up. Well, actually, no, I didn't pick it up. I got it as a gift a while ago, and I've been meaning to review it, but I've not gotten around to it till today. So, yes, Jean Paul Gaultier. This is the sampler set of the Scandale, A Paris, Belle, and Classique. So I'll go through my review of those. If you could give this a like or subscribe, that would be amazing. I'm like 80 subscribers away from my 1,000 subscriber threshold. That would be fantastic. Really appreciate that. So anyway, let's get into the fragrances. So I will start with probably the most well-known of the four. Well, possibly the most well-known. I think it's a little older than La Belle, which is a newer fragrance, but the Scandale. So this is in the sampler in a small size, but I already owned the big size when I picked it up. So I gave the small one to my stepsister. And this fragrance is very sexy, as you could tell with the marketing. I think it's supposed to be kind of a date night fragrance, and it is. It makes sense. It's a very sweet, gourmand, honey-centric fragrance. The top notes in this are blood orange and mandarin. Middle notes of honey, which is the most prominent, and then gardenia, orange blossom, and jasmine, trio of white florals, and then peach. And then the base, beeswax, caramel, patchouli, and licorice. So it's fairly complex. It's definitely a honey-centric fragrance. It's interesting, it's nice, it's very, very feminine, very, very sweet. It's quite strong and powerful and lasts a very long time. I only need about 1 or 2 sprays of this. If I do more than that, it can be overwhelming. So if you enjoy this fragrance, you probably want to go light on it. Also, you know, in the heat, it's going to be a little more cloying and probably stands up better in cooler weather and cold weather, cool and cold weather. So this one, popular favorite. Also, use it sparingly. It is very sexy. It is very complex. It lasts forever. I just said that, but yeah, I like it. I'm gonna say I enjoy it. Obviously, I picked up a full-size bottle of it. I think I probably have more than I could ever use in my lifetime in this bottle, just because of how strong it is, and how I think it's, you know, I use this specifically for a date night, and so it doesn't get that much wear, but it is nice and sexy and yummy. Guys like it. Honey fragrance. So that is Scandale, the original. And then the next one I will cover is the Scandale A Paris, and this one is a stripped down version of Scandale. So they only has 3 notes. Top notes pear, middle note is jasmine, and they say the base is honey. I really like this fragrance. I think it smells, to me, maybe it's just because I've had the other one longer and I've kind of, you know, gotten used to it, but this one I think smells really good, and it actually gets a little bit higher rating on Fragrantica. I think it's not quite so heavy, being that I think the pear and the honey are pretty closely balanced, which is a really nice combination. The jasmine is kind of taking a back seat to it, but it's a nice complement. So yeah, I don't know, because I'm using like a dabber on this, and I'll put a little bit on here. I compared the two, the Scandale and Scandale A Paris, and I actually enjoy the Scandale A Paris a little bit more generally. Just the fragrance itself is really lovely. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit less sweet, a little more fresh smelling. But I'm not sure because I've got just a dabber of this and the other one I can spray. So if I had a spray, maybe I'm like, is the quantity comparable? If I had a spray, I don't know if it would last longer. I think I would go a little heavier with this version than with the original Scandal because it is not quite as powerful. The longevity is less. I would say Scandal has quite long, good longevity, and this one has moderate longevity, moderate to good, but it definitely wears off before the Scandal does. But it smells delicious. If I found like a 1 ounce or a 1.7 ounce of this, I might actually purchase this. It's really nice. But for now, I'm just gonna work through my little sample of it and go from there. Next, I'll go through the La Belle. La Belle, I think, is maybe the newest one of these. Really well liked. People really like this a lot. Its top notes are pear and bergamot. Middle notes are floral notes and leather. And then base is vanilla, vetiver, amber, and musk. So this one, this one is another like fruity gourmand. I think you get a lot of the pear, the vanilla, the vetiver. I didn't know it had leather until today, so yeah, it's I think this is a good fall fragrance because of the kind of warm amber, vanilla, vetiver thing happening, but also it's got that fruit to balance it out. I say this is like a pear, vetiver, vanilla fragrance, which is a nice combination. It is, it's got pretty good longevity. I'm gonna say like 6 or 7 hours. Very feminine. I think that the leather is not prominent. It's a nice fragrance. Excuse me. I don't think I'm gonna purchase a full-size bottle given that I've had this for a while and I've gone through about this much. I do enjoy it, but I don't gravitate towards it quite as much as I would to want to purchase a full-size bottle, but it is very popular, lovely. A lot of people really enjoy it. Trixie, what are you doing? You come over here? She's getting down. And that is La Belle, and the full-size bottle is the bodice, also very cute. I like the Jean Paul Gaultier packaging, very cute. So yeah, another nice feminine, pear-centric, vanilla vetiver, a little bit earthy, warm. I'd say this could be a date night fragrance too. Yeah, La Belle, Jean Paul Gaultier, very nice. And then the last one I have is Classique. Now this one surprised me. I wasn't really expecting much from it because I don't hear much about it, but as you can tell, I have gone through a lot more of it than I have of the La Belle. I think this is a really interesting fragrance. To me, it smells a lot like ivory soap. Like I don't think soapy is an accord in Fragrantica, but if it were, this is what I consider to be my soapiest fragrance that I have, but in a good way. Like, it smells really clean. It's a really complex fragrance. So the top notes are orange blossom, star anise, rose, mandarin orange, pear, and bergamot. The middle notes are ylang ylang, ginger, orchid, iris, tuberose, and plum. It's just a lot of nice notes that I like as notes on their own, but all together it's a kind of an interesting and unique combination, and it smells so much like soap. Like, if you were in the market to take a perfume shower, this would be a great option because it smells like you just had like a bunch of ivory soap all over you. Not that I'm advocating for that, but you know, in an emergency situation. This would be a good candidate. Oh, it's really lovely. The base on this is vanilla, amber, musk, cinnamon, and sandalwood. So all around a very complex, unique fragrance. I definitely get the kind of iris, orchid, like dry white flowers with the star anise is pretty prominent. I don't think the fruits are very prominent. They're fairly subtle, but there's so much happening in here with the ginger and the ylang ylang. It just all comes out to Ivory but in a good way. I can say this was released in 1993, been out for quite a while. What was that, 30 years? 30 plus 30, over 30 years, well. And yeah, I think it's one that doesn't get very much attention, and it has longevity for a reason. It's a really nice fragrance, an incredibly soapy fragrance, but very lovely and interesting. So that is Classique, kind of my sneaker. Actually, of the set, I already had the Scandal, but if I was to get any of these, I'd probably pick up this one first. Again, I would find a smaller size, obviously, because my collection is so big. Buying full-size bottles isn't ideal unless I know I'm going to use them a lot, but I try to go for a small size, but it's nice to have a sprayer. And then I would pick up the Scandal approved. This is also very lovely. So yeah, that is the Jean Paul Gaultier's collection that I have, mostly from this sampler. And if you have any recommendations on other Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances that you like, let me know in the comments. That would be awesome. Again, please subscribe if you haven't. That would be fantastic. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you all so much. Take care. Bye-bye.